Jack, you've been listening in, and to both of you, just as we kind of wrap up, is there any question that I didn't ask and you wish I had have asked?
I think you covered all the major topics. And I think you hit all the things, and you really sort of, I think, asked all the right questions to sort of brought out the flavor of what this school is all about. And in this school, of course, is an international school, but this school could be a model for even a public school. I mean, there is no reason. But if I can communicate to parents 4,000 miles away and do it consistently, and they send out weekly reports. And getting back to your question about parents, you know, the book that you quoted, remember we wrote, talked about habits of education. Well, if you think about parent conferencing, it is a habit. Parents expect at a certain time of the year they're going to get a letter. And so it's sort of a habitual kind of thing where it should be a continuous, it should be a welcoming air throughout the year, not just a particular day of a semester or a semester break. Mm-hmm. And I think those are things that you have to break in the public world, is those habits that we have ingrained. It's an expectation that we have created, and we've done it ourselves. And that's where it goes back to Diane, where we haven't been purposeful enough in the public world to make that connection. Now, if we were selling something, if we were selling a product, we would have been far more intentional.
It's not a free market system like a private school. Therefore, you get students whether you work for them or not, and therefore maybe the demands aren't so high for you to keep them.
Right. The kids that have graduated from this school, the last, every senior, they've all been accepted into one of the top 100 schools of the United States. I mean, they're just phenomenal kids. And that's something we don't work against, but we also like to do the extra stuff that Joshua shared with you. And because it's more than just getting into school, which we've talked about in the past. So I hope this has helped you.
Thank you.
To see the difference of the cultures, and also it really is eye-opening. I think if a parent listens to this and they find out that a Korean kid, his parents tell him, if you sleep more than 4 hours, you're lazy, you're never going to be worth anything. Well, I don't know if Joshua told you, but I stepped out of the room. But they take this test one time a year. I think he maybe told you that. Mm-hmm. That test determines what that child's going to be the rest of their life. So if they get even a high score, but it's not as high as the highest score, they can't go to a university in Korea. So they're basically stuck and they can't go anywhere. And they end up basically, Joshua, I don't know if he told you, it works out to about $1,000 a month is what they live on the rest of their life. I mean, it's just so narrowing. So that's why education is so important to them.
Yeah.
And that's why in our culture, why it was so important to the first wave of immigrants that their children go to school and get a better education into them. I mean, the parallels are there.
Yeah, it's true.
The other part of that is it's just bringing the best of both worlds together. The public school and the Koreans, bringing, that's what really happens here on the campus is you bring the best of both worlds together, which I think that's really what we want in the long run.